Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we have a very special guest joining us today. We have Ronda Ray. How's it going today?
So good. I've been out on the Harley today. It's nice and warm and sunny in Nashville, where I'm currently at, and I just couldn't have asked for a better day.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad it's nice and sunny there because it hasn't been that nice here recently in Central Texas. So,
It hasn't been that nice here either. I kind of got stuck here, not in a negative way, but I'm about a month delayed in my plans. I planned originally to spend my winter in Phoenix, Arizona, but I got stranded in between Nashville and North Alabama in all the ice storms, the same storms Texas was getting. So I managed to not be in Texas during a storm, but I got stranded here. And all the time I'm thinking, boo, I plan to be in the desert riding my Harley all winter and I'm stuck in this ice storm. But
yeah,
it's all good.
yeah. I remember when I was out living out in New Mexico, a lot of people loved riding their Harleys. I lived in southeast New Mexico in Roswell there.
Yeah.
Um, and just every summer, like from probably like mid-March to, you know, probably December, like there was only like a 2 month off period, but all that time people would ride their Harleys right through town and you'd see them lined up on the street side and it was really cool.
Yeah. I do not need four seasons in my life.
No,
I just need to be riding season all year long and sunshine and be outside, and I am a happy camper.
nice. And you'll get that in the Southwest for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Except maybe New Mexico. New Mexico still gets pretty cold in December and January, but it is what it is. Um, so excited to have you on. Excited to get to talk to you a little bit. I've been listening and following you for a little while since I was introduced to you about a month or so ago, I guess, at this point, and been really enjoying and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you.
Awesome.
Sweet. Oh, so for people that are just kind of getting to meet you, you're originally from the Midwest area in and around St. Louis. So what was it like growing up there for you?
It was simple. It was really, really simple. And I was really blessed to grow up with people who had the mindset that you could kind of do anything. And I owe a lot of gratitude to some of the people I grew up with. And I grew up in with a love of music, sports, agriculture, horses, all that kind of stuff kind of encompassed my little life.
Nice, nice, nice. And so did you didn't grow up in St. Louis proper, right? You grew up on the
No,
outskirts of St. Louis?
I was born in St. Louis. I grew up in Southern Illinois.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, my buddy still owns a chiropractic clinic. He lives in Fairview Heights, I think.
Uh huh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I stop in Fairview Heights and go to the gym there sometimes.
Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's Southern Illinois is just like a really cool area. I love it. I wish I could go back, but those winters, man, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
not sold on those winters. So,
It's definitely unique. I love to pass through and stay with my aunt and uncle. And my mom still lives there, my grandma, and some of my cousins. And my sister is in St. Louis, and my nephew, my brother-in-law. So it's a good place to pass through and say hi and keep on trucking.
no, yep, I 100% agree. Except I haven't even been trucking through that recently. My buddy messaged me the other day. He's like, dude, I haven't seen you in like 6 years. When are you coming through? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. So, like, Texas to St. Louis isn't the easiest trip in the world, but it's
No,
doable. So,
it's doable, especially like, if you have certain places that you like to eat or that are special to go to, we always have our certain stops with my sister. And then in Southern Illinois, I always have to go eat at Walt's Pizza in Marion. It's the
Hmm.
best pizza ever made. I wish I had some right now.
Yeah.
So
It
those things make it special.
nice. Nice. Um, so where does music kind of come into play? You'd mentioned that you grew up in a musical household.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it really was a simpler time growing up where we would stand around the piano and my mom or my aunt would play and we would just stand around and sing. And that sounds corny, like Little House on the Prairie nowadays, the way kids grow up, but that's how we grew up. And as soon as I was old enough, like 6 years old, I was taking piano lessons and really had a love for music. I put on the living room concerts on the Toy Box stage, and it was just a really big part of life. So I'm really grateful for that.
Nice. You're taking me back to growing up in the '90s, where it's just like, you leave the house and you don't come back until the street lights come on. So,
Exactly. I remember our neighbor got a car phone, not
hmm,
a cell phone, but a
yeah,
car phone.
yep,
And that was such a big deal. And they were going to come by and show us the car phone. And it was just like unreal. And now we've all got one strapped to our face all the time. So,
yep, yep. My mom had a car phone, but she was also driving back and forth to Chicago every day. So my dad was like, probably can't afford it, but we're gonna put you there because if you get stranded in Chicago or going up to Rockford or something, you know, we got to make sure you're at least somewhat taken care of. So,
yeah, totally.
so, no, it's cool. And so, when did you kind of start like writing your own music? Was that something you had kind of always done, or was that a little bit later as you started growing up and all that stuff?
That came a lot later in life. I didn't really like, looking back, I didn't really like the super structured music lessons I grew up with. Now I'm grateful for them because that's what allowed me to pick up music later in life and run with it. I just kind of know enough to be dangerous and outside the box. And then I hire and work with and collaborate people who are are still very versed in theory, and we jokingly call it the nerd stuff. It's actually a very great compliment to say, oh, he knows all the nerd stuff. But yeah, it came later in life. I got an ag business degree. I had a real passion for agriculture. My dad's family were the farmers and all of that. And I loved horses. I rodeoed, trained horses for many years. As soon as I was old enough, I left Southern Illinois. I rodeoed and did all that when I was there. I got my ag business degree there. But I would just sit when I was younger and look on the map. Where am I going to live in Texas or Oklahoma or New Mexico? And I left and went to Texas and have been there more than half my life. But I've done every job you can do with a cow or a horse. And a lot of people hear that and associate that kind of lifestyle with country music.
Hmm.
And I do. There's country music that I love, but a lot the people I grew up rodeoing with, listen to classic rock, metal, hip hop, rap. We didn't listen to a lot of country music, and a lot of people don't really understand that. But being a musician is very similar to that rodeo lifestyle. And in fact, I travel in a camper that I'm sitting in. The camper I bought is called a Capri camper, which is known as the America's Rodeo camper. People call it the Cowboy camper. And I had one back in the 2000s. It wasn't near this nice, but I had one. So it's sort of like, and I got my guitars, I traded the four-legged horse for two wheels. I got my Harley in the trailer. So it's very similar to that rodeo lifestyle, but it was later in life I started to have a desire to write and play, and I picked it up. I picked it up quickly because I had a music background.
Mm-hmm.
But I took a long time to get very good at it again. So
Fair. Because I was literally going to ask was, do you think it was easier for you to pick it up knowing that you had the background and like learn piano and stuff like that? But you kind of answered that one already. So,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
kind of looking at the when did was there kind of like a light bulb switch moment where you decided to, okay, I'm gonna give this up so I can pursue music, so I can give up the rodeo and that lifestyle for music?
Yeah, 100%. I'm an all or nothing kind of person.
Mm.
I want to do what I'm doing 100% and do it really well. And I was living in North Texas, working for my neighbors, and I absolutely loved what I was doing for them. Working for their ranch, hauling horses. They would send me horses to train and sell, find good horses for them. I was really fulfilled in what I was doing. But the music thing started to grow, and I realized I needed to make a decision. I wasn't happy with one foot in this and one foot in that. And
Yeah.
I made the choice to move to down to the Dallas Fort Worth area and really focus on the music at that point. So I'm going from a 100-acre ranch to renting a room in somebody's townhouse was a big change, but I was all in. I was like, let's do whatever it takes, and that's how I am every day of my life.
Yep. Yep. But now you have the freedom. Now you seem to have the freedom to go and do whatever you want to do because you've got the camper trailer with the Harley, and it's like, yeah, I can just kind of go do what I want to do. If I want to go live in North Dakota for 3 months, I don't know why you do that right now, but you can do it if you want to.
Maybe at the certain time of the year, yeah, but you're absolutely right. You know it it my my life, I'm a minimalist person. I come from a simple family.
Hmm.
I like things really simple, and I only want to be giving up my energy to what's really essential, which is, you know, a little different, even than a step further than being minimalist is, you know, my energy needs to be going for what is absolutely essential. So the camper streamlines everything because I don't have a house payment, keeps my overhead down. Wherever I go, like, travel wears on everybody.
Hmm.
And this way, I'm always at home. I always have a green room at every show. And exactly right. Like, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I'm going to leave Nashville and go to the West Coast. Well, I don't have to rent an apartment. I
Yeah.
don't have to come up with all that money. I just got to drive there and park
Yeah.
and let's
It,
party.
got to find the place to park in it, depending on where in California you're going. That
Yeah.
finding that place to park may not always be the easiest, but you know.
Yeah, there's that. But there's a there's always ways around things.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said before we jumped on here, you are living the dream that I want to have. I've often said that even if I could do it for a year and just like, hey, I'm turning 37, 38, whatever, like whatever it is, I'm gonna take that year and I'm gonna just go live like a nomad. I'm gonna just
Yeah.
kind of figure it out. I think that'd be really cool and just kind of do my podcast out of the back of the car.
Why not? I
Yeah.
mean,
So, it's there is no reason why not, other than the fact that I kind of like my job, but that's the
yeah,
only reason. So,
that's a good reason.
so what? So you're in Nashville now. Um, what was it about California that kind of drew your attention? You're like, yeah, let's go spend some time out there.
And I've been trying to get there for a few years. I hadn't been out there since 2018,
Mm.
probably.
Gotcha.
And just, I'm excited to just go play some of the rock clubs out there and be in that awesome rock scene, and do that kind of deal. So it's going to be awesome.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You got to get out there and play some of those clubs before they all close down.
I know, right? It's happening in every city. It's happening real bad in Dallas Fort Worth. It has
Mm.
been for the past year and a half. And I just played a venue here in Nashville, one of those just the coolest dive bars I've ever been in. And they're losing their lease and they're gonna close in March. And it's
Oh wow.
just, all the character and the soul of what makes those places so great. We're losing them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's sad. It's sad that we're losing them because we're all stuck on this, and it's easier to just stay home and stream Netflix or scroll on TikTok. And I don't know. I don't know what to do about it except be true to myself and keep doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah. Yep. You just got to get out, keep getting out there and playing and doing all that stuff. Because if the musicians keep playing, the venues will hopefully stay open, assuming that the musicians can draw. And it's a weird ecosystem.
it is. People don't understand it. I think a lot of venues themselves don't understand it. A lot of them do, but a lot of them don't.
Mm.
And it's frustrating because the rules of the game change and evolve. And you know we do our part, I do my part. I'd usually do my part and about 10 other people's part um at the same time because I want everyone to win. But we want to give people a reason to get out of the house, and we want to do everything we can to let people know what's going on. But giving people a reason to get out of the house and then be glad that they got out of the house and be looking forward to the next time, that's what I live and breathe for.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good. I mean, every reason's a good reason to live and breathe, but I, as I was preparing that statement in my head, I'm like, yep, that's going to get taken wrong. So yeah.
Right,
Oh,
right.
oh. So as you kind of look at your situation now, you just released a new single. It's been 6 weeks at this point, or coming up on 6 weeks.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Tiger Lily Girl. What's the story behind this? Or yeah.
Such a fun song, and it's kind of becoming a movement and an anthem. Whether
Nice.
you're a guy or a girl, I have this friend in Alabama, one of the co-writers on the song. Before we ever met, she had this idea for a song with a girl who rides a Harley and is a free spirit and lives outside the box. And years later, we meet, and another person is a co-writer on the song as well. And we all got together. She pitched me the song. We got together, worked on it a bit more, and then we were able to record it. And you know, it's just been a lot of fun. I mean, to me, I'm always thinking about the live show and how this song is impacting our lives, and it really is a movement for people who choose to live outside the status quo. Whether you're a mom who's raising her kids to not be glued to an iPad or a screen 24/7, or you're a family that says, you know what, we're going to sell our place, we're going to buy this travel trailer, and we're going to learn to live simple. We're going to make sourdough bread, and we're going to coupon, and we're going to minimize
Mm-hmm.
and live that way. Whatever it is, not everybody's going to be living like a full-time nomad life like me and writing songs and playing big rock shows. But my whole thing is about my life inspiring someone else to live their dream.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiger Lily Girl just really encompasses that journey and that adventure and that part of us that society just tamps down, and starts to tell us who it wants us to be. But we've all got that wild part inside of us that wants to be unshackled and untamed. And so that's what Tiger Lily Girl is really all about.
Nice, nice. I love it. It's a really cool song. I've listened to it uh at least a handful of times today, you know, just today alone. I really enjoy the song, and listening to you explain kind of what the song is about and like the essence and stuff behind it. Have you ever seen the movie School of Rock?
Yeah,
I figured you probably had. That part at the end where they're talking about one great rock show can change the world.
exactly.
I feel like that's your motto in life.
Yeah, it's really true. One of my heroes is Bruce Springsteen. And you either get it or you don't. If you're
Mhm.
not a Bruce fan, that's fine. But I finally got to go to a live concert of his last about a year ago in
Mhm.
Dallas. I couldn't have even afforded a ticket. Someone bought me a ticket. I went by myself. And I mean, with everything I know about him, which is like almost everything, it was still just one of the most life changing nights of my life.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of magic he calls it, rock and roll magic. You can't explain it. It's 1 + 1 = 3. It doesn't make any sense. There are songs I've heard him do. Maybe I've listened to a live concert on Sirius or
Mhm.
YouTube it, and I'll be like, oh, I hope he doesn't do this one at the concert I'm at. I hope he doesn't do this one. I didn't want him to do any covers because I want to hear his songs,
Yeah.
which that's noble. But when he did those songs that are those staples of his set list, I was like, never mind. I get it. That's why he's the boss, because it was amazing. I mean, amazing. And I feel like it's really, really rare to have that kind of an experience, but I don't care because I'm going to die on this hill for that kind of rock and roll, magical, levitating,
Mhm.
earthquaking, life changing experience that we get to go on together, because you're not going to get that on TikTok.
Yep. Yep. 100%. I would say I've probably only been to one rock show that didn't have a deeper impact on me. And it was just because I wasn't a huge fan of the band in general. Like I knew who it was a Red Jumpsuit Apparatus show.
Hmm?
And I know who they are. I know some of their songs, but they would just weren't a band. They're just not a band that it's like, oh, I gotta go listen to their show. But it was like $15 to go see them. And it's like, well, I'd be almost stupid to not go do this because I get like 10 years ago, you ain't getting it. Ain't getting to see them for $15 or
Right.
whatever, So, um, and they were out in like Roswell, and I went to go visit my buddy, and it was a cool show, but it just, it was what it was. That was probably the only rock show that I've been to that didn't have like a profound impact on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has there ever been a show that other than the Bruce Springsteen show that was there any other show that just kind of had a super deep impact on you?
Yeah. I also got to go see Paul McCartney in Fort Worth.
Wow. Yeah,
Get out here.
you don't even need to say anything else after that one.
I mean, I don't understand why a young artist, an emerging artist, would not be looking at these great, legendary performers and seeing what they do and studying it. Like, this man is 80 years old. He's playing circles around his band. He
Hmm.
never took a break. They got breaks while he did an acoustic set. I mean, the man is a genius anyway, but just to still be performing at that level. I mean, my shows with my band are like, I always say, I feel like I just did 4 hours of CrossFit, whether the show is 30 minutes or 4 hours, it doesn't matter because
Right.
I give it all.
Yeah.
And I'm in pretty good shape, but I still I can feel it sometimes. And
Hmm.
so, but that was definitely life changing. well.
Hey,
Paul McCartney.
that's one of those shows that I'll probably never get to see, but if I ever got the opportunity to, like if I just happened to have the money to go and he was in Dallas, like if there was ever an
Yeah,
opportunity to do it, it'd be like, okay. I right now I'm kind of at a phase of my life where I don't like spending a whole lot of money to go see bigger name acts. I'd rather go instead of paying $200 to go see one show, I'd rather pay $20 and go see 10 shows, you know.
yeah.
So that's kind
I
of where my head's at. So
yeah, I wish everyone thought like that. My friend had an extra ticket and
hmm
she took me and we were in the nosebleeds too, but it didn't matter. And as soon as and you know when you're a musician, you don't listen to music like a normal person. Like,
hmm
and that's one thing I miss is being able to listen to music like a regular person.
hmm
But when they started playing, you just felt like, or I did, I was like, this is just a great rock band. Like, this is just like however many were on stage. I can't remember how many he had. This is just like, it's just a great band. Like,
yeah,
this is not some fame hungry person. This is a group of people who love what they're doing and are great at it. And it just felt so organic and awesome, even way up in the nosebleeds.
hmm
So,
you look at music the same way I look at movies. I went through film school and I was thought I was going to move out to LA to do films and stuff like that. And it ruined me. Like I cannot sit here and watch movies anymore because it's just like, oh, yep, that looks terrible. Oh, what were they doing that? Just like the most stupidest things set me off when I watch movies. So it's like, okay, I'm just not going to watch movies anymore. So,
yeah, yeah, the struggle is real.
yeah,
And there's so much live music. And unfortunately, if I do go out to eat with people or something, I'm like, anywhere that doesn't have live music tonight, it depends on what it is. But
fair.
my ears are just, if I'm out with my friends, I want to focus on my friends and not
hmm
feel like I'm being a producer in the background and not focusing on my friends. But when I do go out to hear live music, man, I'm gonna be your biggest fan and I'm all in and let's
Nice.
high five and I feel you and let's
Nice.
be friends.
Do you find when you go out to live shows that you like to change it up and go to something that isn't like necessarily a rock show? Will you find yourself at like a country show or are you pretty much 100% rock shows?
I mean, not if I can help it, I like to hear some. I just want to hear something good. I
Yeah,
don't care what genre it is. If it's good, I'm gonna like it and I'm
fair.
gonna appreciate it. I'm gonna be like, dude, well done, or guy or girl, whoever, awesome. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, here in Nashville, there's just country music everywhere, which
Yeah.
is totally expected. And I'd never been down on Broadway. And when I first got here, I went down there and just, hung
Paid
out.
$30 to park and yeah.
Yeah, I actually Ubered down there. I rode my Harley down there the other day. That was a trip.
Yeah.
When you're on a Harley, you can just pull up anywhere and everyone just thinks you're cool and doesn't care. So it's way better. But I
Nice.
Ubered down there and went in a place that's suggested by a friend of mine who's from here. And she or this band was really great, and they're just playing cover after cover after cover. And this female singer came up and they passed the tip jar and it's a real serious deal because that's how they're getting paid.
hmm
In case anybody, the band's not always getting paid, folks. That tip jar or that t-shirt you buy may be the only money they're making. You cannot assume that the venue's paying them.
Yeah.
They're not getting paid on Broadway. So they're asking for a request and you tip them and they come to me first. And I just said, oh, I'm a musician too. I'm an artist and I think you're fantastic. I'm not going to make a request. And I put a tip in the jar. I said, I wish I could hear your originals. And we just got to have a really cool interaction, but she felt like somebody understood her and the struggle, and like that was awesome. They were a great country band.
Nice.
I can't remember the name, but so I like to just, my friend calls it milling about smartly.
Hmm.
And I like to just kind of wander in somewhere and see if something cool and organic can happen.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I I don't know. I just can't do it on Broadway. Like I'll go support any band anywhere,
Yeah.
but that idea, like I've been to Beale Street and I've done the Beale Street thing, and I went to Broadway once, and I was gonna park to go to the House of or BB King's Blues Bar or House of Blues or whatever it's technically called on Broadway there, or is it on Broadway or just off Broadway, whatever it is.
I'm actually not sure.
There's a BB King bar, like BB, he
Okay.
has a bar there somewhere. Um, and I wanted to go to it, and I pull in and go to park, and it was like $25 for an hour, and I'm like, I'm not paying this. Like, I'm just not doing it. And then went to go try and find a Uber, and that was going to cost me like a whole bunch of money. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll go to anywhere that isn't going to charge me to park. So
Yeah, I mean, it is its own thing for sure. And it is a unique experience. I'm glad I can say I've been there. I'm looking forward to playing there Saturday night. And I think we're at, logistically speaking, we're
mhm.
playing at the Nashville Underground, which I'm sure we'll
Nice.
get. I think logistically speaking, we're at the best spot on Broadway because it's at the end by the river, and
Hmm.
there's parking really close. I mean, I'm sure you have to pay, but I think we got the best spot and the
Yeah.
best venue. So,
Nice. So we'll jump to the show coming up here in a few minutes here, but where are you kind of at creatively right now? Are you writing, recording, looking at your next release? Where are you kind of at creatively right now?
yeah, I'm in a really fun place creatively. Um, these are the times you live for, where it's really really busy, lots of stuff's happening. Got to record a song last week down in Florence, Alabama.
Nice.
uh, Got to work with the kids at the Florence High School Academy of Fine Arts. They
Mm.
played on it. Didn't know what I was gonna get. We got a great recording, and that really inspired me, because the way it all came together. The struggle is sometimes what gives the, not that it was a negative struggle, but just of creating, of grinding, of what's this gonna be, and no, and
Mhm.
yes, and oh, you got it. Um, that's what makes the the thing so special when it's done.
Mhm.
And lots of rehearsal going on, um, because of the show Saturday. Recording Friday.
Nice.
I've been writing. Got a. I've been writing a lot, and so I'm feel like I'm being launched into the next iteration of Ronda Ray music, um, as a result of this little. Now I'm going to call it my winter incubation here, because it hasn't been negative, even though it's been cold.
Yep.
I've gotten a lot of work done, and stayed true to the process, and get to work with Jeff Huskins Friday, and I'm going to be able to be the student. And I really feel like this learning process is gonna be a launching pad for me
Nice.
to head out west.
Nice. And you're heading out west on Monday? You said Monday, Tuesday?
Monday or Tuesday, yeah, I got some shows in Texas. Stopped in Rockwall, Texas.
Nice.
We got Cedar Hill, Texas, south of Dallas. Can't remember what else is on the website. And then
Mhm.
Carlsbad, New Mexico, just kind of making my way out west.
Nice.
So yeah,
Carlsbad's always a good time. I always love Carlsbad.
it's good to have a long lost buddy in Carlsbad who's also a musician. So
Mm.
yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So as you kind of prepare for your trip, obviously heading out west and whatnot, where's kind of your mind at right now? Are you just in full blown, like, you got these shows coming up, so you're worried more about that, or are you more worried about getting out west?
I'm 100% focused on both the studio Friday and the show Saturday.
Gotcha.
Now that we're in the real nitty gritty of it, I haven't had as many shows as I normally have, but that's not a bad thing. It's just part of the growing pains of what we're going to be doing in 2024 with Ablaze Entertainment and all the great things that they're doing to help me grow. But so it's been a lot more rehearsal because I used to just have so many shows that
Yeah.
was that is your rehearsal.
Yeah.
And so it's actually been a really cool thing to embrace. Hey, I'm just going to be here rehearsing. And I got a fabulous vocal coach thanks to Ablaze Entertainment that I'm working with, Cynthia Fleming. And she has just opened up my vocals. It's just been incredible working with her. And that's very exciting. So those kind of elements are making it really fun. When you think of an athlete, no one would think like, Patrick Mahomes, if he walked in and said, I don't need a quarterback coach this year, you know, he'd be in trouble.
Right.
But musicians, and of course, we don't have that Kansas City Chiefs budget all the time, but having this team form around me of these amazing men and women is really helping me stay focused and grow and embrace where I'm at. And while it was snowing, I spent tons of time like looking and researching where I want to play out west and where I'm gonna go and park and be and do. Don't get me wrong, but I'm all about Saturday nights, big rock show, bringing that magic, making people glad they got out of the house.
Nice. Yeah. I totally agree. I dig it. So with this show coming up on Saturday, what does a Ronda Ray show usually look like? I'm assuming high energy.
It's a party.
Nice.
It's party time. It's party time was the name of my first single and my first album. And that was intentional. I was listening to Bruce one day and I was like, well, okay, he just has a song that's basically goes, we're having a party over and over again. And I was like, that has to be by design. I was like, I'm going to write a song about having a party. And so I did. And yeah, we want people to feel everything, but we want to give people a reprieve from the day-to-day struggles. We want you to feel your feels. We want you to feel the joy. However a song speaks to you. We want you to just have a great experience, a great night out. Get a break, get renewed, get recharged, refocused, recalibrated to go face life another day.
Nice. And this will be a nice little send off for you heading out west.
Absolutely. This is the weekend we've all been waiting for. This is what we do all the hard work for, all the sacrifice, all the just surviving. This is what it's all for. So it takes a lot of discipline too, because there's a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes, the daily communication and all the stuff that still goes on. But just to remember to enjoy it, enjoy the moments, enjoy the day to day. Because I can get on that Harley and take off, and my mind can just be going bing, 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 bing. But allowing myself to not just work nonstop through my day, but take that hour to go for that ride and just be really grateful and really intentional about enjoying the moments, because guess what? Tom Petty said, after their first big
Mm.
tour over to, I think they went to Japan. It was Asia. And they're rock stars, right? This is huge. And
Yep.
he's like, the next day we're back in LA taking out the trash.
Right.
And that's how it is. You get high highs and low lows, and you just try to keep it somewhere in the middle, because next week I'm going to be driving, listening to my podcasts, back to the more
Yep.
mundane stuff. So we're
Back
going to
to the
enjoy
grind.
it. Yeah, we're going to enjoy it. It's going to be great.
Nice. You touched on something kind of interesting there, because I think that's kind of the differentiator of the people that can handle success versus the people that just kind of burn themselves out or whatever, because they keep chasing that high, that the highest of highs, and don't enjoy those like little small moments of, okay, yeah, last night I played in front of 20,000 people at the Tokyo Dome or whatever, and now I'm sitting here in LA taking the trash out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I think that it's all with balance, but I think the people that can kind of handle that balance and just kind of enjoy both aspects of it, because they're both comforting in their own way, you know.
That's very well said. I am by nature, my personality strengths are believing and adapting.
Yep.
So I can just believe and adapt really without even having to try, which
Mhm.
is a strength of mine that works well for this lifestyle. But I'm always working on myself. I have a very strict morning routine that I 1% of the time will I wait deviate from it.
Mhm.
Um, just taking care of myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Those are non-negotiables in my day-to-day, because the days I do, the rest of my day falls into place. The days I don't, or it's rushed, or it doesn't work, the rest of my day can get really wacky. And so just keeping first things first. Those, what are the priorities? Let's tackle those. I do the work of 5 or 10 people every day, so what I'm really trying to do is impossible, even with a team. So why would I kill myself over all of these things? Why
Mhm.
would I not trust the people around me who believe in me and support me? Will say things always work out for you. And I finally started listening not too long ago. It's like, why would I stress about X, Y, and Z that I really can't control, and to kill myself over trying to accomplish when it's not even possible? Why don't I just focus on what I can control and let the rest fall into place around that? Because I'm a big quality of life person, hence the way that I live and travel. I love the way that I live. And if I'm not going to have joy and quality of life, I may as well be working some corporate job somewhere just to get the money. But if you're going to be out there living your dream, you should have some happiness in it, at
100%.
some point of your day.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I couldn't agree more. Um, so I obviously, outside of music, you love riding your Harley. You mentioned it several different times. Um, what was there kind of a point where you decided, you know what, I'm gonna, or has Harley's kind of always been a part of your life? And
Yeah. Harley was not always a part of my
okay,
life. I always thought it was cool. I got to play Sturgis with another artist several years ago,
nice.
and over a period of time, I took the riding course at Natchez Trace Harley in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Really
Hmm.
good friends of mine there, and learned to ride, and with the intention of at some point getting a bike. And I would just borrow friends' bikes or, whatever. We would go
Mhm.
ride together. And I just realized since the time I stopped doing anything with horses, and this is like, I don't know how many years, a long time,
Mhm.
more than a few years. I just didn't do anything for myself. I didn't, I didn't have anything I did for fun because at some point, music becomes a real job and you
Mhm.
need a break from that. Now I'll pick up a guitar later and I won't hardly want to put it down. Like I love it,
Mhm.
but you gotta have something besides that. It's
Yep.
not your hobby anymore. And I finally was like, the next Harley that I love, that I really want, I'm not gonna overthink it, I'm just gonna buy it.
That's
Lo and behold, one of my friends works for Black Diamond Harley Davidson in Marion, Illinois.
yep.
And she sends me a picture of my bike. And I knew when I named the bike Blondie, in my mind, I was like, once I named her, I was like, it's mine. That's meant to be mine.
Nice.
Went and got it, and the rest is history. So, really gives me that freedom and that same feeling I had, riding and training horses all those years.
Mhm.
But it's a lot less maintenance.
Nice. You brought up Black Diamond Harley. I haven't heard that name in so long. My buddy used to run wrestling events out of their warehouse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yep. Uh,
Yeah,
it- uh,
they're great people.
yeah, it's a really cool shop too. I had a chance to kind of go through and see what the shop looks like, and that's a cool place. Like
It,
I get it. So,
it's a great shop and they're great people. They do a ton for the community. I've
mhm.
played quite a few times for them and look forward to doing it again.
Nice. Nice, nice. And so not to keep you here too much longer, but as you kind of look towards the summer, how often are you hoping to play once you get out to LA? Are you hoping to play a little bit more frequently or kind of keep it still infrequent?
I plan to play more frequently. I just love to play. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but you know, I'm used to playing a lot of acoustic shows. They're kind of my bread and butter and keep the bills paid. And it's I just love doing it. I love getting out with people and playing, and a Blaze Entertainment. We've got a lot of plans in store for the
Hmm.
summer on the West Coast. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really uh just kind of letting things fall into place. I've got a team I can trust,
Hmm.
and something I heard on a podcast today, out there taking care of myself, riding that Harley. Um, the amount of trust you have in something is inversely proportionate to the degree that you're able to let go.
Hmm.
And I really love that because that's so true. It's like kind of the same. It's like these positive and negatives. Like singing doesn't come from here, singing comes from down here,
Hmm.
you know? And it's sort of that whole, I don't know if yin and yang is right or not, but you get the principle, what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say. And I got these great people, and I've had to gut it out by myself for so long that I'm kind of just relaxing and enjoying it, focusing on what I can control, and uh, as if it's all going to work out. Because
Nice.
it is. Whatever it's meant to be, it's going to work out. I'm not going to miss what's meant for me. So as long as I'm doing the work, the right work, what do I have to worry about? Now, I'm going to replay this in a few days when I forget that I'm not supposed to be worried and I'm supposed to be having fun because I'll forget.
Fair enough. But that's such a great approach because, I often tell myself the same thing where it's like, worry about what you can control. There's very little that you can control, and the stuff that's meant to be for you, you're going to take advantage of it. It's going to happen. Like, don't worry about it. Like, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And then I forget about it 10 minutes later, and it's like, oh, I missed this interview. Like, I should have had this interview with this person, and it didn't happen, and I get so worked up about it. So I totally get it.
I'm the only person I know that just forgets to have fun in life. And I'm so driven and so focused. And because I'm, so single and no pets, but it's because this takes everything,
Mhm.
that I have to be pretty intentional about now when I have friends around or I'm, around my band or whatever, it's easier. But I do spend a lot of time by myself, which I also love. That is not a
Mhm.
complaint. I'm my own best friend. But I gotta be a little more intentional about that. And like one night a week or so ago, I was in Franklin, Tennessee. They
Mhm.
have a historic theater there, the Franklin Theater, and I went to see. They show movies, old movies,
Mhm.
and I went and saw A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles movie,
Mhm.
and you know, just to not be working. It was kind of hard. It was like my mind was real busy. I've seen that movie a million times, but it's like I gotta do more of this. So
Yeah.
more
Uh,
fun for Ronda in 2024.
nice. I almost feel like this is a Illinois thing at this point, because it's like I work really hard. I in a similar boat, single, whatever, and just kind of out here doing my thing, and I forget to go out and like. There's been plenty of times where friends will invite me out to a show, be like, "Hey, I'm playing over here, come hang out," or "Hey, we're getting together, we're having a barbecue, come hang out," and I just work straight through it. It's like, yeah, I probably should have taken at least an hour and been like, okay, I'm gonna come over, eat some barbecue, and then if I don't stay, don't get offended. But that's just my
Yeah,
nature.
100%. I don't know how much it's an Illinois thing, but it's definitely an entrepreneur thing. And that's
Yeah,
why you're great at what you do and why you're succeeding at it. And it's like, but we gotta work at that balance. It's
yeah,
the struggle is real.
yeah. It is. It is, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that the trick to growing is going out to have those, like, couple hours of fun, because you don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't like
Exactly.
if you don't know who you're gonna be, you take a photo and it's like, oh, that's Instagram, and then you throw it on your Instagram, and somebody's like, oh, that guy has fun too. Yeah, he's killing himself when he's at home, but when he goes out, he has a good time. I want to talk to, stuff like that. So
Yeah, because it's such a weird job
hmm
because it's all about you. You're in your daily grind. I'm the product. I'm the it's me 24/7, right? But then at the end of the day, it's really not about me at all. When I get on that stage and this music and all of it, it Saturday night, it's not about me at all. And that's a weird thing to feel and know and balance. And it's like it's all about people, it's all about relationships. And I'm guilty of the same thing. Now, if I can, this is why I've got to live out west and
hmm
southwest. Because if I can ride my Harley, I'll go anywhere. And I did get to go hear a friend sing the other night here in Nashville, and I had had a really long day, crammed with stuff. But I really wanted to go, and it's so having that network of people that you want to support and that reciprocates support. There's that's called community.
Yep.
And but so many artists are just me, and my, and that's not what gets you down the road. So
Nope.
I totally get it.
100% agree. It's an interesting way of life we live, to say the
It is.
least. So, um, so if anybody wants to check out your music, upcoming shows, interact with you on social, any of that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
RondaRayMusic.com, RondaRay music, no H in Ronda, will take you to, has all the social buttons. There are videos on the website. All the links are there to YouTube, wherever you want to go. But that's the kind of the central hub for everything. And I'm on all the socials, wherever you like to hang out, I'm there. And I have a really cool Facebook group. It's a closed private group. So if you send me an invitation, I can let you in. But it's called the
Nice.
Party Time Crew. And that's kind of my fan club / community where we just kind of have a safe place to, to have fun and hang out. And I post content there that you can't get anywhere else. I'll be a little
Nice.
more personal and vulnerable there. And it's not that we're just trying to be this super positive, happy clappy group, but we are trying to not be victims and lift each other up in the crap storm that can be life as in on planet Earth from day to day. We can find a little joy and we can come together and we can give each other a fist bump and
Nice.
go on.
Nice. I dig it. I will have to I will have to send an invite to that.
Yes, please do.
I'm trying to be better about Facebook. We spent so much time building it up during the pandemic, and then I just kind of dropped it within the last year and a half. So,
It's crazy how it was created to be social, but it's
Mhm.
not social anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like TV commercials.
Mhm.
But in our group, we can be social. So
Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out the best way to be social in that group.
Mhm.
But it's fun. We got a lot of great people in
Yeah. Nice. That's really cool. That's the key. That's the key to Facebook right there, is the groups and having like-minded individuals that are there for a specific reason and are there because they want to support you. So,
100%.
nice. Um But once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with us. It's been an absolute blast. If you swing through Waco, let me know on your way out west. Or if I keep saying I'm going to go out to California one day, and I just never do because for whatever reason, I just don't. But if I ever make it out there, I'll let you know and look to catch a show.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun chat. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We will catch y'all later. We have another podcast coming out tomorrow. And then if you want to support Ronda Ray, her Spotify link and her website are in the description below. So feel free to go check that out. And once again, thank you all so very much. We will catch y'all later.